So we're talking about the importance of slowing down, and what does that mean? And this is something that I want you to try today. So I was in a conversation with a client yesterday, a hugely successful, or what I would consider, right? Success is subjective, but what I would consider and what he considers a hugely monetarily and materialistically successful human being, very driven, um, a very big character. And that's been an interesting experience working with somebody with such a big character, so much energy. So he came on the call yesterday, and he has one particular business that they're looking to completely change the structure of because of the the economy, looking to change the structure of. So because of that, he's having to make some redundancies. Right? He's having to make some changes. And he came on the call yesterday, and you could tell, and I said to him, what's going on? Because there's a lot, I mean, for him, normally there's a lot of energy, but I could sense there was just some urgency, some nervousness, some twitchiness, some unsettledness in him. So I said, listen, let's do a grounding, let's slow down. So we just spent the first 10, 15 minutes of the session just breathing, just being with one another, two guys, just being with one another, spending time together in love of one another, in support of one another. For me, creating that energy with someone else is powerful. Having somebody there with you in that way is powerful. And when I opened my eyes, there was a lot, I could see there was some tears and there was a lot of emotion for him. And I asked him, what's the emotion? What is with the emotion? Share with me what's going on in there. And he said, when I sit down to acknowledge myself, which is the homework I gave him, to sit and acknowledge himself. We've been working on that self-creation piece. And I said to him, when he said to me, I've been sitting down and doing the acknowledgements of myself, I can't do it. Or when I do, there is so much noise that I feel like I can't do it. So I said, share with me more what's going on in there. He said, there's this little boy. The way he sees it, the image he had was there's this little boy trying to feel good about himself, trying to get, trying to create acknowledgements, trying to feel good, trying to have some guidance, right? So just some gentle guidance. Am I doing okay? Am I doing enough? And he said, I sit down and it feels so uncomfortable. He said, I'm not used to this, and I don't think I've ever been really and truly acknowledged. So we sat together and we worked out between us, like we did some coaching, we worked out between us, actually a lot of the problem that he's experiencing isn't because he can't acknowledge himself, it's because he thinks he should find it easy, like everything else in his life, right? He can make £1 million in a day if he wanted to. He's so focused and so disciplined. But when it comes to himself and the work in self, he's not as used to working in that area. So he's applying the same principles, right? It's like, oh, this should be easy. This should be straightforward. I should be able to do this job done. See you later. I'll get on with my day. And it isn't that way for him. So when we slowed it down for him, when we breathed, when we grounded, what he started to notice was, oh, this isn't so easy for me. So the problem isn't that it's not easy. The problem is that his relationship with not easy is not easy. So that's what we're working on, creating comfort, creating space, creating forgiveness with discomfort. And it was massive for him. He was mind blown. He was just sitting there like, man, you could see it writing it all down. He's like, this is so good. This is just great. Because he started to see what was really going on inside him. But we wouldn't have accessed that. We wouldn't have seen that together had we not slowed him down. Because he came on the call like we all do, right? We start our day, or often we start our day. We've got in mind what happened yesterday. We've got in mind we've got to do today. All the old programming conditioning comes in, and off we go throughout our day. We never sit and break or stand like I am, break the cycle of that to create something new. We stay where we are. It's doing the same thing, behaving the same way, seeing life, others, and ourselves in the same way. We've got to slow it down. This is your invitation today from me, whether you're listening to this live now or whoever is here, say hello, live now or on the podcast, wherever this, or on YouTube, right? Because this is going to go out to all of my social medias. Wherever you're listening to this, just stop just for a few moments, take a breath, slow down, and look at what is making up your experience. What are the stories? What are the thoughts? What are the judgments? If that word makes any sense to you, to some it doesn't, right? What are the thoughts, the feelings, and the stories that are making up your experience? Be aware of them. Be aware of them, because without awareness, we can't create change. Become aware of them. And once you're aware of them, then you can decide what direction you want to go in. And if you need some support, get some support. So that's it from me, right? I want you to practice, or this invitation is to practice slowing down, take a breath, and become aware of what's making up your experience. And I promise you, you will completely recreate your experience of your life and yourself and how you see yourself if you're willing to practice it. So that's it from me. Lots of love to all of you. Have a phenomenal day wherever you are, wherever you're listening. Lots of love, lots of support, love, and thoughts, energy are going out to you. And yeah, speak to you soon. Lots of love.